Master Zed.
Mr. Pold is not available this week, so thanks to Master Zed for filling in at the last minute.
The very last minute.
He may have told us that he was not going to be in our time zone.
It does sound like me.
But neither of us remembered. So
our fake sponsor this week is Track a Pold. If you lose track of your pold, now you can go through a very friendly app on your phone, and it shows you right where your pold is.
I had to text him, and I was like, "Are you in town?"
Unfortunately, when he texts back and says he's 3 time zones away, that's a bad thing.
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, so it's almost midnight there." Okay, sorry.
Sorry. Bad.
So Father's Day was last Sunday. Happy Father's Day.
I got some good stuff.
I got a few good things. I got a Pac-Man shaped controller that has AV cable coming out, and you plug it in your TV and you can play like a bunch of versions of Pac-Man, and then it has
cool.
Galaga, Dig Dug, and
I love
some
Dig
other
Dug
games. It's pretty fun.
Nice.
I also got some candy. I got my favorite candy bar, which is a Baby Ruth. And I got some cowtails.
Those the red licorice?
No, they're
brown licorice.
Caramel with like cream in the middle. And they're like 6-8 inches long. But I noticed something disturbing on the packaging.
Does it have where the tail attaches to the cow?
It does have pictures of cows, but it's
maybe with real cows.
It's how they spelled the word tails. They did not spell it Tails. They spelled it Tales, which at
cow tails.
It's like the cow is telling you a story.
It's a story about a cow
that you're eating.
Just sit right back when you hear. Oh.
Cowtails. Ooh.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that.
That's a good one.
Oh man, I was like, why? It doesn't. First of all, it doesn't make sense. So that's instantly.
Is it English?
Annoying to me.
I've seen misspellings all the time. Or
I don't know if they did it on purpose or not.
They might. Might be what they mean. It's kind of disturbing reading the tail of a cow. It's horrible. It's horrifying.
Oh, maybe there's another product that's made out of real cow tails, and it's already got the name locked down, so they had to change it.
Well, there was a way we could figure that out.
I'm not gonna Google cow tails.
Too late.
What?
You already Googled it? What did it come up with?
I don't know. I'm on their website. They have cowtails, copyright, rice or crispy rice treats, strawberry caramel popcorn. I don't know.
Original cowtails. Nope, it's always spelled that way.
They're peanut free.
Caramel candy. I like them. I snarf them all down. Scarfed? I don't think snarfed is the right.
That's snarf. I got Nerds.
Oh.
Well, gummy Nerds. Not my favorite candy, but I hate them. That's one of her favorite candies.
I also got a mug.
Because I'm drinking?
No, I am drinking a mug root beer. But I got a mug to take to work because we have this. Did I say this on the show? We have a tea station.
You're asking the wrong person.
In my office now. And so we have an electric kettle. But I don't really like tea.
Oh,
so
I think you did.
Started bringing in cocoa to make hot cocoa.
I have the electric tea kettle on my desk for oatmeal.
Me too. Well,
and cocoa.
Oh, you can get a cowtail shirt.
That
is very suggestive. Anyways.
It's a cow though. I think it's a female one. So where's the other?
Horns. Do female Holsteins have horns?
No, but what would you use it?
Anyways, so I got a new mug to bring to work, and it says "Nerds Rule" on it. So
I got 10 movies.
Whoa.
I think 10. Might be 12. Maybe. Or it could be 10 or 9.
Weird.
So my wife got me for Father's Day, she got me some multi-pack sets. So she got me Police Academies 1 through 4. And then she got me all the National Lampoon Vacation movies.
Cool.
Including the new one, the one that has...
I
haven't
not
seen that one.
any of those in a long time.
I guess we talked about it in their consumption, but I watched one of them.
So there's a Reddit board that starts with, okay, I'm a bit confused. It's cow tails and not cow tails, with the two spellings.
So the people are mildly confused also, so that's good. It's funny because it gets this kind of conversation happening.
They're calling it the Mandela effect because everybody remembers it being spelt with an I.
But never has. I mean,
Yeah, I guess. You probably just assume that they would spell their own thing right.
so it's your brain
So
fixing
when you
it.
finally notice that it's wrong, you're like,
Like
is
that
this-
motorcycle shop in Boise that was missing a C. It said motorcycles.
oh, I didn't.
It was
guess I
the
didn't know
Buell
about
motorcycle shop.
that. Oh, the
One
yeah,
on Chinden and whatever road that was. Overland.
weird.
No.
Yeah, no, something.
Curtis?
I don't know.
I didn't get anything for Father's Day.
Well, get some kids and you will.
I talked to our dad on Father's Day. Did you guys do that?
Yeah, I did.
How long did you talk for him? So I think we should do an over-under game.
For him? You probably didn't talk for him at
to
all.
him. Because we didn't talk very long.
Yeah, we didn't either. I'm not a great phone talker though. It
I
was
think you come from the same line as him then, because
maybe 5 minutes.
yeah,
that. It's probably less.
I told him my idea about the disc golf.
Oh yeah.
He didn't know what disc golf was.
What?
So,
Well, next time he's around or we're around him, we'll have to go disc golfing.
I don't know if Master's Ed heard our idea, but installing a disc golf course on the farm.
Oh, that would
Yeah.
be fun.
You could have
Because
something that throws over the river. We thought you could have like a platform you could throw from for one, which apparently is a thing.
Oh,
Somebody I know is playing on the course that one.
I looked up the area, and the nearest disc golf course is in New Plymouth, and the reviews said it was horrible.
So all I have to do is,
It'd be better than that.
which get our family out there playing once. You can get everyone reviewing it. It'd be better instantly.
Yeah, they
Good
could have
idea.
tournaments out there and sell custom discs. That'd be cool.
So just need our friend that plays disc golf really well to go out there and he just throws his disc. Wherever it lands, that's where we put the basket.
Well, I did mention it to him. He's like, well, it's hard to open one in a new area because nobody in the area does it. I'm like, well, yeah, but I think you got to start
figure it out.
sometime, and that would be a cool place to
I mean,
have tournaments.
I've played foot golf.
Okay.
I won, actually.
He was the only one person playing. He was
was
just
4 of us.
actually kicking a soccer ball out in a field by himself.
What is he doing?
I do know someone that was
That's a high school.
playing it on a golf course that had the foot golf also. He said he accidentally hit towards the flag that was for the foot golf.
Oh.
And the guy was like, well, can I just hit in that one? That hole's really big. It's like garbage can size.
Whoa. So my son is starting middle school next year, and they had a night for us to go to the school and get his class list because he has some electives.
I'm classless too.
And they were very well organized because they had like different color sheets for the different grades. And then they on the sheet it told you if your last name is from this to this, you go to this room. And it had all the room numbers. So it was going really well until we got up to the area where the room is, and none of the rooms had numbers on them. So we like walk up to a room and we're like, and they're like, this is 218. Like,
So they knew to tell you just based on you looking
where
confused.
does it say that? Where's 217?
It's up
Oh,
inside the door.
it's around the corner here. So we go over there, no number. Just like,
It's hazing.
is this 217? Yep. Okay.
It's for hazing purposes.
It was like you went to the trouble of sorting it so you had the same number of people in each room, but then You don't have the numbers on the doors.
It's like the building I work in. I think our room's E2, but it's the only one that's numbered that way. The rest of it is like 3-digit numbers, like
Weird.
203.
Well, I don't know if the number was on that door because all the doors were open with a teacher standing in the doorway.
Oh,
So
probably.
maybe if the door's closed,
But
you
how
could
does-
tell.
How does that help if, like, your first day of school, you're trying to find your class?
I know because all the doors are going to be open.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was silly.
I'll have to ask my son that goes there. Maybe he knows.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's like no wonder that I'd go to Spanish class and they were teaching math, and my English class was about history, and
Yeah. He's really excited because he got into the school he wanted.
They should just make school easier in combined classes. You could have, today we're going to draw the history of math.
Yeah? No.
No?
Well, when I was a junior, they had combined English and history.
Guess you could write about history.
Well, you like read historic literature and to learn about the time it was
You
written.
could combine PE and
Lunch?
health class.
Sure.
Today we're going to try to hit each other with hockey pucks.
oh, I had that class.
Then health, you get points for different areas of the body you hit.
If you
Health,
know
you're
how to
gonna-
triage people,
You're going to bandage your classmates.
That'd be funny. Well, so T-Viddy has been asking for something for years. And I've always
Divorce.
put her off. No, that's just recent. No. So I finally came home to her. I was like, let's go buy you a trampoline. She's been wanting a trampoline. They just got out of school. So she just had her first day off in her summer break from her job, which is cool because she still gets paychecks for
Oh,
the school.
really?
They prorate them throughout so you can get them through the summer.
That's cool.
So I spent, I don't know, an hour and a half this afternoon putting it together. I got it complete to the point that, except for the safety stuff, I haven't put that on yet.
Right.
oh, so it's done.
Yeah, so it's done until, say, Jimmy's kids come over, then I'll probably put the safety equipment on.
Yeah, my kids are younger,
Yeah.
more likely to hurt themselves.
It says in the packaging, and there's all kinds of safety warnings, it's for one person at a time only. So that helps a lot as far as that.
Yeah, you have some ammo to say one at a time.
Yeah.
Well, my family's really jealous. And
There weren't.
I would really like to have one.
It's a 14-foot one, so that's what 14 foot looks like.
Okay.
If you're looking, that's the biggest one they had at Walmart, which is where we bought it. Big shout out to the guy that helped us take it out to the truck because the thing weighed a lot. It's all in a box. Even though it took them a while to get to us, but it's not like they were short-staffed with their. For some reason, they're having their people that can work the pallet jack and move stuff around heavy.
Mm-hmm.
They had all but one of them working registers. I'm like, hire more people. He's very friendly. We had good customer service. So
Oh,
it was
good.
nice. Although we're contemplating while we're standing there waiting for someone to show up that we would go to Fred Meyer and buy one after
Yeah.
talking to the supervisor or the manager at the Walmart saying, you had our business until you wouldn't help us. But they kind of made up for it in the end.
Wonder how much they are there. We'll look it
Trampolines?
up. Yep, Fred
Oh,
Meyer.
Fred Meyer.
I was wondering if there was a big price difference.
And then I'm sunburned
I see that.
because I spent 5 days on a golf course, or 5 hours
Oh,
on
I was
a
gonna
golf
say,
course.
what'd you get lost?
It felt like it was 5 days.
Wonder I didn't see you all
Looking
week.
for balls out in the woods. I didn't play my best game. Well, I guess I played my best game at that course because I beat my record there by a stroke.
Mhm.
But on a small par 3, 115-yard par 3 with the flag kind of hidden around the corner a little bit, I dropped it 5 feet from the flag
Wow, nice.
and then sunk my
Nice.
putt for a birdie.
Oh, that must have felt good.
What's funny is the guys I was playing with, we had actually 6 people playing.
Mm-hmm.
They play par 3s where whoever, if you get on the green, whoever's closest to the pin and can get at least par, everyone gives them $1. But I don't play that because I just give
Right.
people dollars all the time. Well, I didn't take their money on that hole, and I could have because I got my birdie. I was the closest to the pin.
Nice.
It was awesome. Felt really good though. That was fun.
Cool.
I also parred a hole.
I haven't
But then-
been golfing in a long time.
I finished up with a 10 on the last one.
Ball
which is
golfing
not good.
is a 10.
Yeah, I went through the woods a couple times. Had a really tough time hitting the ball all of a sudden. I was hitting underneath the ball, so I was hitting all kinds of dirt ground, and it was bad. It's bad.
Golfing or digging a hole?
Yeah, I felt like a farmer.
Master's Ed's got some big news.
I do.
You're moving.
I am. I actually had to get my microphone out of a box for tonight.
So
Sorry,
we have to
about
unpack.
short notice. No, they're still in the old.
We haven't moved. We move. We get the keys tomorrow night.
Oh, cool. I was thinking today or yesterday that you should be moving in soon. I've got a coworker that's closing on a house next month, so I've been thinking about you moving.
Well, it's been talk about anticipation. So we closed on the house at the end of May, but the people needed to stay in it because they had a kid in school.
Oh,
that's a better excuse than what we had happen to us.
So the people were really cool, and we wanted the house, and they wanted to get it sold to us, so it worked out. But I had to give Charlie power of attorney to close for me, or to sign for me, because I was in Burma.
oh,
Well, when we
Did you bring any
closed.
pythons back?
No.
Wow.
probably for the best.
Did you accidentally bring any pythons back?
But yeah, so we get the keys tomorrow, and Saturday we'll move in. So if you're not busy, could use the help. All of our help canceled.
Uh-oh. Saturday.
It's a special day.
It's the day you get ready
Ready
for
for Sunday.
No, I think we have one guy coming, and most of our stuff, we don't have very much stuff that needs.
Are you just
Two
moving
people.
in your pickup?
We are getting a U-Haul
Oh, okay.
just to make it easy, so it's one trip.
Smart.
Well, it'll technically be 2 trips because we are going to move everything from the condo in a trip to the house, and then we have a storage unit.
Are you offering pizza?
That, yes,
Said move.
there was pizza. There are pizzas for whoever.
Tempted to make the trip.
Should we talk to our wives and go together?
I'd have to be back for Sunday. But
Tracy, do you want to go with?
maybe Friday after work trip, come back Saturday night.
That's really tempting.
I know.
So you get your keys tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So you
we have
totally camp
keys.
out at your house.
You
Your
bring a
house.
sleeping mat and the bag.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to just spend the night in the new house.
You know, I will let you know tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm really tempted to go.
Me too.
All right.
Um,
Oh, go ahead.
we've had such a nightmare selling our condo.
Really?
So far, we've had 2 offers that we have accepted, and it's taken off the market, and had both of those them back out.
Oh,
First guy backed out after like 4 days.
What was the reasoning behind it? Just couldn't get financing, or?
No, it was the first guy. Evidently, his realtor told our realtor after the fact that it was like the 5th or 6th place that he backed out of, and just was really flaky. And I think he technically used the HOA disclosure as the way to not pay any earnest money. And then the second guy, I actually feel bad for him. His offer was contingent on him selling his condo, but they had already had inspections and had the appraisal done, and it was all good. And so he was just like, it was just waiting on stuff to close. So we figured that would be pretty low risk. And the day before he was supposed to close, the people buying his backed out.
Oh, that's harsh. It's probably the same guy that backed out of your first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He double got you.
So it's been back on the market for a week. And then we had somebody look at it yesterday morning, and they sent an offer to us at like 5 o'clock yesterday. And before we even had a chance to look at it, we got a text from our realtor saying that they'd withdrawn it.
Oh.
We're like, what? Why are people
What
putting
do people
offers in
do?
if they don't actually want to buy the thing?
That doesn't
Or
make any
even
sense.
spend any time.
What the heck?
Yeah, so
That's not how I do business.
Yeah.
we're getting really tired of it.
Yeah, I bet.
But hopefully we can close soon, because it's going to be a pain to be paying 2 mortgage payments for a while. But
So when you guys closed on your house you're buying, did they have the people come to your house to sign papers?
no, we went to the title company
Okay.
or escrow people.
Whoever the title company was that we refinanced our mortgage, they came to our house, the lady, to have us sign papers. It was really nice.
Yeah, it sounds nice.
It was sweet. And that was her whole job, is traveling around. She's a traveling closing agent.
Hmm.
She
Interesting.
travels all over the place, and she said she really likes her job. She gets to
That's
see all of the northwest Zimbabwe. Just try to stay away from Chad because there's some political upheaval there.
Mm. Yeah.
All of the preppy shirts have gotten too expensive for
Well, we're excited for you. The
Yeah,
real
it's cool.
estate market is crazy where we're at. I'm assuming it's probably similar.
What
down
if they're
there.
just trying to hold their place in line by saying, well, if we don't put an offer in, what if someone beats us? We want that one.
I guess, but they knew.
And if you
There
do that
was-
too many times as your realtor, you're going to have problems,
Yeah.
I would think. I would hope.
Yeah, I don't know. We had somebody else look at it on Tuesday, and it was some girl. She really liked it, and so she went back twice yesterday. Once to show her fiance, and then once to bring her mom.
That sounds good.
And so we were expecting, they were trying to get their financing pre-approval in order.
Right.
So we're expecting to get an offer from them, because they came and looked at it 3 times. I assume they liked it.
Yeah, that sounds like a
Yeah.
So the house
And-
I live in now, I think we came back twice to look at it.
The house we bought, we walked in the front door and were pretty much like, okay, we want this.
Cool.
And then everything we looked at was just reaffirmed that we wanted it. So it was good. Yeah, so to me, I guess the part of finding a house is over, which is the more stressful part. And selling the condo, it'll happen eventually.
Yeah. Well, we're happy for you.
Thanks. So I was gonna tell a funny story about Father's Day,
Okay.
since I didn't get to it. So I did not talk to our dad on Father's Day.
Oh, you were
You lose.
I was out of town,
Oh.
but we kind of have just I don't know if he agrees with me or not, but it seems like he doesn't like celebrating holidays.
Yeah.
And so we talk on the phone. This last year we talked for almost an hour, I think, on the phone
Wow.
during our birthday season, because our birthdays are 2 days
I think
apart.
that's
Right.
more than I've talked to him on the phone, like the totality of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we always talk around our birthdays, and so this last year we ended up talking for a long time. So I didn't call him because I figured he'd probably rather be left alone and enjoy the holiday in solitude.
His favorite holiday is Columbus Day because he gets the day off work and he doesn't have to do anything.
Yep,
Yeah,
there's
it's
no
not bad.
meals, no presents.
Yeah, you don't have to buy anything or go anywhere.
But I did go out to dinner with a dad.
Oh,
So I was
Were you a dad?
I was down in California. One of my coworkers named Kevin. He invited me to go down to his favorite racetrack down in Central California with our motorcycles and do a
saw
track day of
pictures.
the motorcycles.
Yeah, it looked fun.
And his dad lives fairly close. It was like a 2-hour drive for him or something. So we met him halfway, and he has the same name as our dad.
That's cool.
So
So Devin and Kevin and Phil for both dads.
That's
It was really funny. I started laughing when he told me his name. I had to explain myself because he was kind of confused.
Why do you like a that funny? You think I'm a clown?
But unfortunately, my motorcycle's engine did not like the track day as much as I did.
Was it really hot or something?
It was really hot. It was over 100 ambient temperature.
Wow.
So the track was probably 115 or something.
Did you figure out what went wrong? Like what?
No,
bearing or-
not yet.
Oh,
It's
my guess would be maybe a bearing.
yeah, I'm not
Maybe it's a
sure.
tumor.
So okay, so I'll explain to you what happened,
Okay.
but because I don't quite know in what order things started going wrong. So I was going quickly around the racetrack, as you
As
do.
one would.
And there was no one in front of me, and so I had just wide open track for like 4 laps, and I was pushing it. It was pretty hard. It was my first track day, but I was starting to kind of get the groove of things, and so I was maintaining kind of the back section of the track. You can do pretty much at full throttle through a couple turns, so it's probably 3/4 of a mile at full throttle. And so I was doing that, and right as I went to go around this corner, I let off, or I was at like 14,000 RPMs.
That was
And-
for my engine too.
It kind of stuttered a little bit right as I let off, and then I gave it throttle because it felt funny when it stuttered, and I wasn't sure if it was me chopping the throttle too quickly or if it was actually stuttering. And when I gave it a little gas, it seemed to hesitate, like it just was low on power.
Huh.
So I made the turn and then went to go accelerate to the next turn, and it just seemed like it was not accelerating as quickly as it should. And then by the time I got to the corner, it felt funny. So I decided to get off the track, take the next exit back in the pits. And when I slowed down in the pit lane, I could hear like valve ticking noise.
Yeah.
And
How does it? I don't even know how the timing on a motorcycle engine works.
it's got a timing chain.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
So I started making kind of a valve noise, and then as I was driving back, I was kind of like babying it, getting it back to our paddock, and right before I got there, my temperature light came on, and I looked at my temperature, and it was at like 250 degrees.
Whoa! Yikes!
And I was like, holy crap. So I
Well, at
killed the
least 50
engine.
Too high.
Huh?
It's at least 50 too high. What does it normally run at?
My fan kicks on at 220.
Oh, okay, that's a lot.
So it's not
warmer than
too high. And the light comes on at 251 or something. And so it had by time the highest I got was like 255, and then I turned the engine off and let it cool down. So I don't know if it overheated, if it was like running too hot before, or if it didn't have enough oil or something.
Yeah, or
and
maybe the oil got
overheated.
too viscous.
Yeah.
That's the high temperature.
So you're gonna take it apart yourself, or are you
Yeah, I think
somebody else
so.
do it? Cool.
There's I guess it can kind of make that valve sound with there's the cam chain has a tensioner on it, and if that tensioner can go bad,
Is it hydraulic tensioner?
it's mechanical.
Okay, spring or something.
Yeah. So that spring can wear out, and the bike has 30,000 miles on it.
Oh, that's more than mine has.
So I got a new tensioner. It was relatively cheap. So I'm going to change the oil and change the tensioner and see if it's still there. And then if it is, I'm going to tear it down.
Cool.
But it was fun still. And then my buddy that I was with crashed at about 100 miles an hour.
Ooh. You okay?
And yeah, his gear did its job. He rode the bike back to the pits. It just broke a foot peg off.
Oh.
And
was he done
there
riding
was
after that?
Yeah, just because of the bike, because it didn't have a foot peg, he couldn't get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, last week I mentioned that I almost laid my bike down.
Yeah, when it, in the wet.
In the rain. You've seen my tires.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pretty bad.
Yeah. When they're slick, unless they're meant to be slick, I think
They're not
act the
They're
same.
not soft rubber like.
And I'm pretty sure the racing slicks aren't meant for wet either.
Yeah, they put different tires on when it's wet. Well, I almost feel like we've been going long enough. We should just skip nerdiculture.
Let's do it.
How do you feel about that, Master Zed?
I'm fine with it because I don't remember what the topic was you told me.
Okay.
I'm going to say no.
All right.
That's the answer to the question that nerdiculture was going to be.
Okay. Well,
yeah. I agree.
I think it's other reasons. Is that confusing enough for the audience?
Sure.
All right.
Maybe we'll talk about it next week. All right. Let's do some technerdy.
All right.
So the most common battery used in electronics right now is lithium ion. And there is such a thing as a lithium sulfur battery. And it's supposed to be cheaper because sulfur is really cheap. They basically said it's practically free. But the problem with sulfur is that it's so reactive that the battery doesn't last very long. The sulfur breaks down. So these guys at Berkeley...
Premature electrocution?
Yes. These guys at Berkeley Lab, they took a substance called carrageenan. They get it out of red seaweed, and they use it a lot in like plastics and stuff as a stabilizer. And they were just like, well, let's try mixing this in with the sulfur and see how that makes it last. And they said it made it last way longer. And so,
longer than sulfur or longer than lithium ion?
Longer than the sulfur, and similar to the lithium ion.
Oh, okay.
It has the battery has a higher energy capacity than lithium ion. So for the same size of battery with the lithium sulfur, your battery will last longer, and then it will also have the thousands of recharge cycles that you expect from your lithium ion battery without it breaking apart. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Especially if they can get it to production and start.
Yeah, so this is just done in a lab. They already people already make lithium sulfur batteries. It's just adding this one part into the manufacturing that. So it seems to me like it would be easy to do.
I think that'd be cool for like electric cars too, right?
Yeah, it would work in electric cars.
Because then you could get the price of batteries even cheaper.
Yeah, and you could have more distance if you have more energy capacity per size.
I actually saw there's people that do get really crazy miles per gallon by the way they drive.
Yeah, hypermiling.
Hypermiling.
Yeah.
Some hypermilers took on the Tesla, and they got 500 miles on a charge.
Just by driving differently.
On a track.
Wow. And the normal's like 3 something, right?
It was funny. It was like someone tweeted out the story. Elon Musk responded to the story and said, with the right tires, you could probably get 500 kilometers.
No, it was 1,000 kilometers.
1,000 kilometers, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. I think it's funny when Elon just tweets at people, probably like freaking out.
Yeah. I read a couple articles with him in it to do today, but neither of them really tickled me that well. One of them was just like, it was a non-article. They were like,
an article?
Yeah, an article. It was like, we heard about this thing Elon Musk wants to do. We don't have any information, but here's what we think it could be.
Oh, come on.
Like, are you kidding me? That's the second week in a row that's happened to me. Not with Elon, but with that type of article. But it was saying that he wants to start his own music streaming service. It just plays songs he wrote. No. It would... they didn't even have any information, but they said he's already been talking to labels about getting music for streaming, so they didn't know if it was just going to be for in the car or if anybody could sign up for it.
There's this new U2 album, but it's only preloaded on the Tesla's
car. The other one was talking about... the other one was actually pretty negative, and I thought they were not... justified in their negativity, but he was talking recently about wanting to colonize Mars.
Yeah.
And they were using like quotes out of his thing he wrote about it, and one of them was like, he kind of just glosses over, yeah, it's pretty cold there, but if you can, condense the atmosphere, you can grow plants in it. And the article author was like, kind of cold. It's 0 degrees at the hottest and 0 degrees Celsius, and it gets down to like minus 60, and then how are you going to pressurize the atmosphere? That's just, like, he's obviously talking about inside a structure. Come on. And then they were like, well, even if you did thicken the atmosphere up, the solar wind will just blast it off because it doesn't have it's just like, we know how to make it. We've talked about the artificial magnetic field and all that. And then I guess he also talked about using like Enceladus and some of the other possible habitable places as basically gas stations, fuel depots, because you could make rocket fuel out of the atmosphere there. And they were like, oh, you want to turn these places that might harbor life into gas stations. It's like, oh my God, what is your problem? So I didn't do that one.
Well, see our nerdiculture. Maybe that's... Was it YouTube?
They won't see our nerdiculture. But batteries are cool. I think the better batteries get,
What do you mean batteries?
Batteries. The better they get, the closer we get to getting off of, fossil fuels and into more solar and wind power. When I get a house, I want a Tesla power wall.
And the tiles. Roof tiles.
And the roof tiles. I would be happy.
And a Model S.
In the garage. Oh yeah. I'll just have a Tesla house.
So, it must be annoying if you're a car company and every death in your vehicle gets national news.
Yeah. But it's in the news. I mean...
At least this one was like, the car gave multiple warnings for the driver to return his hands to the wheel.
Somebody has to pioneer this stuff. And there's going to be things that go wrong. When
Yeah, but don't you know that safety, your goal should be 0 incidents?
okay, that can be your goal, but so
The
if,
cost of achieving 0 is cost prohibitive.
so if somebody had died on the Mayflower, they should have just turned around, and gone back.
Mm-hmm.
We're so risk averse nowadays.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, and the news is just hungry for stories. It's like there's so many
'Cause
news
there's-
sites that
There's not enough news to go around. So
I know,
now they're
so-
writing stories about what this thing have no information on.
I heard Elon Musk was talking to music labels. Let's write an article. It's like you don't even know why. Anyways, that's Technerdy.
Awesome. And now the news. So a 19-year-old woman in Washington was not getting her meal fast enough at a fast food restaurant, and she thought that her drink was late at the drive-thru window, and then she claimed that there was something in her drink, and then the last straw, or the last nugget, I guess I should say, because they shorted her a chicken nugget.
Oh boy.
So what do you do in that situation?
You probably drive through the door, maybe?
If it was me,
Oh.
I would just not. I would just leave and never go back.
Never
Obviously,
go back.
You pull your gat and
You
throw the
brand-
people in the,
you
in the
brandish your
restaurant.
weapon.
You brandish your weapon, which then gets you charged with assault
Yes.
and $75,000 bail.
Assault with a deadly weapon.
Right, so you go to jail.
Nice.
$75,000 bail. It reminds me of Super Troopers. Have you guys seen that movie?
Yes, that's a hilarious
Yes.
movie. And I
want a
heard they're
liter of
making a
cola.
sequel.
You know, liter of cola for a cop, or a burger for a cop.
Why did you say a cop? Are you gonna do
You're
something
gonna
to
spin it? Can I get a burger with no spit?
it?
Oh, I love that movie. It's funny. So I can't believe people.
The anti-gun people probably just love stories like this.
I guess. I don't know.
It's like they're trying to take guns away from people, and you're gonna be an idiot with one. It's like the guy that near us that shot himself on accident recently. It's a guy. There's people around here that open carry, so they'll be like walking down the street with an AR-15 on their back, or or a gun in their front of
Seen
their
at Walmart.
pants
Like
or
a
something.
holster or something.
Yeah. Which is fine for me, but people around here freak out about it.
That's why they do it.
And one of them shot themselves on accident
To death?
a couple weeks ago. No, just like in the leg.
Was it?
It's only a flesh wound.
Well,
Was it
they
football?
should, going by the same logic, you should ban pocket knives.
I know, I've had mine come open in my pocket before on accident.
Well,
and I
in-
cut my finger.
in Portland, there was a guy on our light rail that stabbed 3 people and killed 2 of them with a pocket knife, which that made national news because,
We should
yeah.
make light rail illegal.
Yeah. Well, and I've cut myself with my own pocket knife before. Doesn't mean I don't use it properly
I'm friends to
99%.
Rosebush at
of the time.
Master's Ed.
So, yeah, the pocket knife thing is like, at work, we're only allowed to have a blade a certain length.
Except for you have a blade that's
It's like, okay, but then they give you
not
one
a pocket knife. Yeah.
to use as a tool. And the other thing is, like, I could do probably more damage to someone with a screwdriver than with the dull knife I have in my pocket.
I don't drink.
Well, so I have a little 2-inch blade pocket knife that I carry, and usually what I use it for most often is to clean out under my
Oh,
fingernails.
it's not to stab people?
That's probably down on the list quite a
Okay.
ways.
It's probably good.
But I just always have it with me. And we went to Zoc's graduation, and the line wraps around the whole building because there was like 5,000 people there. And we get up to the front doors, and there's metal detectors and security, and somebody's going, "If you have a pocket knife, return it to your car." And I'm like, great. That's like a mile round trip. So I kind of just watched. I figured if they said anything, I would just throw it in the garbage cans they had there, because it's not a nice knife by any means. I was watching, and they just had you empty your pockets and hold everything from your pockets in your hands and walk through the metal detector. And somebody just kind of was watching 2 metal detectors, and then you would just go on. So I was like, oh, I can get this knife in there easy. I could have left it in my pocket probably.
Yeah,
But I just put it with my keys, and I had my keys and wallet in one hand and both my phones in the other hand with my earbuds. And I walked through and put it back in my pockets, and I had contraband in the... It wasn't like it was at a school, it was at an arena.
right.
So, like, whatever. It's not like I'm going to graduation to stab someone.
Well, you don't know what you're going to do when you get there.
Well, you had to have a ticket to get in. So it's not like
What if someone made you angry though?
somebody was going...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my solution.
Uh,
So that
I could have
sounds
done
pretty
more damage
similar.
with my keys than with the knife.
Sounds pretty similar to the security I experienced in Burma. There was metal detectors and X-ray machines at the hotel and at the mall, and pretty much any like big shopping center had metal detectors.
Oh,
But so at the mall and is where I ate dinner every night because it was right across the street from my hotel, and they had like 30 different restaurants there, so you could try a bunch of different stuff.
that's cool.
But it was that where it's like just a metal detector and someone's standing there, and so you take stuff out of your pockets, walk through, the thing goes off, and then they wave you through.
Right, it's more there to make somebody that is
Has bad
being
intentions.
nefarious to go, ooh, I don't want to get caught, and
Yeah.
go somewhere else.
So even better was at the hotel they had an X-ray machine as well as a metal detector,
Oh,
but we figured out after the first day that if you just walked straight to the door and went in, they wouldn't stop you. So we were like, screw this. So we just started just walking past the guy, and usually he was like sitting kind of in the shade because it was really hot. So he'd be sitting in the shade, and then when he'd see you walking up, he'd like stand up and turn the machine on. And so we would pretty much get to the machine at about the same time. And so you just keep walking, and he just goes and turns around and sat back down.
my goal would be that by the time I left, when he saw me, he wouldn't even get up.
Yeah, it was funny, but there was other people that would go through the screening.
Yeah.
So it was like not everyone figured out that you could just skip it. So he probably really was like
Just
stupid
there for
Americans.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty funny. And then the airport, you had to go through a metal detector and X-ray machine at the door to get in,
Oh,
but it wasn't the actual security.
so you had to go through another one?
Yeah, so you had to go through another one to get to your gate, and they were more thorough. Because there was this electrolyte drink that was in our mini bar. It was like pretty much Gatorade, but it was called Pocari Sweat.
Ooh,
So
there's
some kind of-
Pocari.
some kind
Yeah.
of Star Wars
So
creature.
sweaty.
Yeah, it was really
Remember the
good
guy
though.
that was the keeper of the Rancor.
Yeah.
That's his name. You're drinking his
Pocari?
sweat.
That's probably. I wonder if that's where it's from, because I was trying to figure out what that name was from.
Oh, well, he was just making that up. But
Oh.
It'd be funny.
That would be funny.
It's that Gamorrean guard from.
Well, did you ever watch Futurama? They had the soda, the drink Slurm, and they go to the factory and they find out that it's actually coming out of this big caterpillar creature. But they're so addicted to it they can't stop drinking it.
Well, so we had gotten these Pocari Sweat cans, and we were drinking them every day just because they tasted good. And I got to the airport and forgot that I'd grabbed one when we left the hotel
Mm-hmm.
and had it in my bag. And it went through security fine when we got there, and I was like, oh, sweet, maybe they don't have the fluid restrictions here.
Right.
I did not make it through the second
one.
set of security with it. So there's my coworker that I was with was taking video and pictures of me having to chug this can of Bacardi Sweat at the second checkpoint. I got him back in Korea when his we took a rebar detector with us, and he made it all the way till our flight home, our second leg of the flight home before they had him go through his bag and tell him what the heck this electronic equipment was.
Nice.
So I got pictures of that.
When I flew to the Philippines, one of the guys I flew with, we were going to be there for 2 years, and so this guy I was with brought like 12 cans of shaving cream because he didn't know, he was told that he wouldn't be able to get the same type of stuff there. And we made it all the way to Hong Kong, and in the Hong Kong airport, they pulled him out of line when he went to get on the plane, brought him down in this little van on the tarmac with like armed guards with his suitcase, and he's like sweating bullets at this point. And none of them spoke English. They just like kind of gestured like open it, and he opens it, and they like point at the cans, and he pulls them out, and they like take them from him, close the suitcase up, and bring him back to the terminal. He's like, I was like, dude, where were you? He's like, yeah.
Some Chinese guys are shaving for a couple of
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Well, I had brought enough razors, just like the disposable, or you have the handle that you swap out the cartridge.
Yeah.
So I brought enough cartridges for 2 years, but I only ended up being there about a year and 2 months. So I had a bunch left when I came back, and I was over there during 9/11, and so security had changed while I was there. So when I was coming back, I checked my luggage, and then I had my carry-on, and it was too heavy. So they had to take me down underneath the airport so that I could take stuff out of my carry-on and put it in my other luggage.
Weird.
So then I get back up there and put it through security, and they notice that my carry-on has a bunch of razor cartridges in it. And they're like, oh, we'll just gate check this for you.
But there's
So
like
they ended
safety
up-
razors, right? Or
Yeah. But you still can't have them, I guess. So they ended up checking that
you might
bag.
shave someone to death.
Yes. They ended up checking that bag anyways. So it was hilarious.
That's funny.
I've had I flew one time and my bag was like 2 pound or 2 or 3 pounds too heavy, and so I just took out like a sweatshirt and put another shirt on, and then put a sweatshirt on, and like I think I had a pair of gloves or something, so I like took the gloves out and put them in my pockets, and then went through, and they're like, "Yep,
How
works."
stupid is that?
And then
Because
you
that
take
was-
them off and put them back in your luggage
What do you get?
to get back before you get off
Right.
the plane.
I think it was for a checked
Oh,
bag.
it's your check
Oh,
bag.
it's too
Okay.
heavy for a check bag.
But it's still going to be on the plane.
I know.
Right, it doesn't make any sense.
It's like
Rules.
the appearance of security without actual security. The
Yes.
appearance of safety without actual safety.
Well, I mean, the person at the desk doesn't really care. They just have rules to follow.
right.
And
Well, and I'm sure if I was getting close to the personal limit for what your person can weigh, and then my bag also weighed too much.
Maybe they should just put you and your bag on the thing, and you have a total weight you can have.
yeah,
Right. That's
That
like
would
a
make
better
more
way to do
sense.
it.
And then have like a little table set up where you could consign your goods to sell.
Or you find some skinny guy that only has one small bag.
No, because they ask you, did someone give you
Oh, that's
something to carry on the
true.
plane
Dang it. You gotta bring a skinny guy with
with you? Yeah.
No, okay. Well, if you want to support the Enginerdy
Oh, that's the
show,
news.
tell a friend about it. That's going to help us out the most, probably.
Mouth of word.
Word. All right, let's do consumption. Has anybody been watching anything interesting lately?
Barely.
Mm,
Oh, you're saying
No.
that because you have 12 items on your list?
They're 12.
I was trying to see if one of them
3 lines.
had bears in it.
1,
And you were
2,
doing a pun,
3,
but-
4, 5, 6, 7.
I've got
Okay.
2. So the first one I heard about from Master Zed, and I'm really enjoying
14.
the podcast History of English.
Yeah, I like
I've
that
listened
too.
to 3 episodes. It's
Yeah.
really interesting.
It is.
I had no idea.
But
Well, like he was talking about, yeah, in the 200 most commonly used English words, 183 of them are Germanic. So that's why English is considered a Germanic language. But if you look at the dictionary, like 80% of the words in there are Latin based, but they don't get used as often as the core words that are really English. All those other words are borrowed. So
Yeah.
it's
It
cool.
was-
He starts off talking about the Proto-Indo-European language that started in like Iran or somewhere, and how that relates to all the modern languages. It's pretty cool.
There's an entire episode on the letter C and the sound shift that happened during like a certain period of time.
I love it when he reads something in like Middle English or Old English and he does like the right vowel pronunciation.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yep, that's pretty much what I've been listening to. So that's my consumption.
So thanks for turning me on to that. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying it. And I've, on DVD's recommendation, I watched Terminator Genesis. It was
it's
really good.
isn't it?
I would say, though, that you do need to be familiar with the first one.
Do you?
Yes.
That makes it more enjoyable.
It would not make sense if you weren't familiar with the first one. But I don't feel like the later ones really, you need to have seen them.
Mm-mm.
So, basically, it starts off in the future, and
The year 2000.
it follows Kyle Reese, who is the person that came back in the original Terminator to save Sarah Connor from Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right.
And starts off telling him, like, as a kid and then as an adult, right when he's being, the time when he's being sent back. But when he gets sent back, stuff is different because somebody changed stuff that happened before he went back, and so it's the same time as the original, but different things are happening, and there's other Terminators there, and it's really good. So I recommend it. It's on Amazon Prime.
It's got to be top 3, at least, as far as Terminator movies.
There's what, 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I like it second favorite. Terminator 2 or T2 is
I really like T2. I like
hard to beat that.
Robert Patrick a lot.
Yeah, he's good. Oh, that's it?
Yeah, that's all I've got.
I did watch a couple movies. I watched Ocean's 11 and Ocean's 12.
Me too. I haven't watched Ocean's 12 yet, but I actually watched it with my middle son. And he thought it was good too.
Yeah, I was cruising through and trying to find something to watch and saw it on Amazon Prime, and so I watched it, and then it showed up in the recommended for Ocean's 12, and then I went to watch Ocean's 13, and that one you had to rent and pay for, so
I don't think
I
I've
stopped.
seen 13.
I don't know if I have either.
impressed with 12, so I was like, eh.
I don't think I saw 13 either. Is that the one with all the girls? Women?
Yeah.
In New York?
It was, what was her name? Melissa McCarthy.
Does she just not work well with men? Is that why all of her movies are all women?
Are they? I don't think I haven't seen many of her
Actually,
movies.
she was in one that I saw that.
You're just
I know, I'm overly
applying
sensitive.
Ghostbusters to everything.
I'm overly sensitive. Anyway.
You hate women, okay, we got that.
There is
Jason
an
Statham's
Ocean's 8 on IMDb
It's all women.
that is says in post production 2018, and it has Matt Damon and then all of the other actors are women.
They are doing it.
I told you.
That's funny.
And really, they can only find 8 though, because
They're like,
That's the
we
problem.
need
It's-
10 women for this.
well, we got Matt Damon. He's almost like a woman, right?
No, he was gonna be the 11th,
Oh,
or I guess they'd be up to 14. So
Yeah.
we need 13 women. I don't know.
and they're like, no, if we put 13 women in a room together, it's just gonna turn into a cat fight.
I don't know. I personally like women, so I have to disagree with both of you.
and I've seen some like debunking videos showing like women in fight scenes. And these aren't women that have superpowers. These are just like an average 110-pound woman, doing a front kick and knocking some guy back 6 feet. That outweighs her by 100 pounds probably.
Yeah, probably not likely.
No, in fact, they showed it. The guy, I was watching his YouTube video, and he had his producer, who was a smaller dude, try to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't move at all.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Well, getting
Technique.
shot with a pistol also makes you fly backwards.
Not really.
So, not that I've tried it, but
And at a certain point, you should start having some good male characters too. Why don't we just have both? Why don't we just not overcorrect and
just get the best person for each part.
there you go.
So, have you watched anything besides Ocean's 11?
Yes, I've seen lots of things.
Oh, do tell.
So the first one I watched is called Genesis. Is it history?
Terminator Genesis?
No,
Oh.
like the Bible
Oh,
Genesis.
I was hoping it was a Star Trek
Um,
reference.
No, so even if you're an atheist or someone not of faith, I think you should experience scientists that don't go along with the status quo as to how they believe.
Okay.
And some of their points they make they have some good points.
So, is
I
it
think-
history?
A lot of people on the show said yes,
Oh, okay.
and they have good reasons. One of the most interesting things I'd never thought of before was like it's interesting how our planet has a moon that just happens to be the exact size and distance from our planet, so that it can cover up perfectly the sun.
Well, the sun and moon actually vary in apparent size based on because they're not perfectly circular orbits.
Right?
So there's some overlap there, but you do get eclipses where it doesn't fully cover it, or
But
it
they-
more than covers it.
A full total eclipse.
And that's just
Solar
right
eclipse.
now, because the moon used to be closer, and it will eventually be further. So we happen to be living in a period in history where they overlap.
Well, if you base it
ranges
on,
overlap.
well, yeah, if you disagree with their idea that creation happened a lot sooner than, and they actually try to, have some scientific argument with the way people carbon date things. So it's
Well,
interesting,
carbon dating is not the only
right?
dating method, though.
But based on geology, there are a lot of good arguments. So, anyways, it's interesting to watch and have things you've been taught all through school questioned by people that have high degrees. And
It is good to hear
professors.
different points of view,
yes, have your mind opened.
even if they're silly.
Are
Are they gonna do
somebody doesn't agree that science is for a lot of people is religion, and it goes beyond their ability to actually prove things.
Right. Are they going to do Exodus next?
I don't know.
Leviticus, is it history?
But one point someone made was they've gotten a lot of religious people to, think of Genesis, which has a lot of the main Bible story part, including the flood.
Yeah, that's a
If
lot of
you
your Bible
discount
stories
that
come from
as
there.
not being history, then everything else is not on a very good footing. So it's a tactic to undercut.
Did Gomer actually beget Jed?
I don't know. I don't think it gets the numbers.
Okay.
Next one I watched was an anime, I think, called Gantz Oh,
You don't know if it's anime?
well, I'm not sure what could. It's a cartoon that's dubbed Japanese, but I don't know if there's
What the exact definition
right.
of anime is?
because the characters looked human. They didn't have oversized features,
Right.
so I don't.
Well, I'm gonna
I'm
look
not
it
into
up
it
on
enough to know.
Wikipedia and see if it calls it an anime.
Okay, so it's really interesting. It's basically there's monsters in different cities in Tokyo that are released, and fighting them are people that have died and kind of been brought back. They have these suits they wear. But apparently, if they get a high enough score, so they score like a video game, if they get a high enough score, then they have options, and one of them is to return to their life.
Hmm.
The other one is to upgrade weapons as you go. Some people like being in that situation, so choose the weapons.
Right.
Or you can have somebody that's died be reincarnated or re-brought back. So
Interesting.
I like it. It was really good. You do have to read the movie.
So Wikipedia calls it a CGI anime science
Well, there
fiction
you go.
action film.
So I watched an anime movie, which means I'm gonna plunge my recommended from Netflix into the anime zone again.
Yes.
Every time I watch one, it like overdoes it a little bit. Then I watched the MST3K Avalanche. Have you seen that one?
This is the new one with Jonah.
Yeah.
Ray. I've only seen the one that we
I think
watched
it's
together.
episode 3.
I have been watching the older ones though. I've seen a bunch of those.
I gave up watching it with you guys because we watched one and then it never came over to watch any more.
Well, I'll try to. I can't guarantee that I'll catch up in time.
Okay.
So we might just have to watch them separate.
It's good. It's got Rock Hudson in it and what's her name? Anyway, if you like watching old school like 70s sexism, it's funny. It's hilarious. Certain
Yeah.
people you do root for the Avalanche a little bit, and you want to show up quicker.
Come on, bury that guy.
Yeah,
I
and
just
the
watched.
commentary is good.
I just watched Puma Man.
Puma Man.
It was really bad. It had it had a guy in it though that. What was his name? I'll recognize it as soon as I see it. He's bald. Donald Pleasance.
Okay. Puma Man.
He's from Halloween,
Yeah, he looks familiar.
The Great Escape, Escape from New York. He was in. I think he was the president.
Gotta love it.
It was really bad, really funny.
So, I watched one of my National Lampoon movies,
Mhm.
the original Vacation.
Oh yes,
Chevy
Wally
Chase.
World.
Yes. The part where he gets pulled over by the cop, when he had the dog hooked to the back bumper.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I haven't
funny.
seen that in a long time.
It's pretty funny. But I have all of them, including the new one, on that, like all stacked into a
Yeah.
big case. And I can't wait to watch the Police Academy movies. I haven't seen
Yeah,
those in a long
I
time.
haven't seen those since I was probably not a teenager yet.
Yes. And you watched the TBS version, so
Yes.
it's going to be interesting to see
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
the real version.
That's true.
And I watched. I rented from Amazon John Wick 2.
Is that good?
It's very good.
I like the first one.
It's not as good as the first one, but it's solid. It's
Okay.
really good.
I'm down.
I was reading a review and someone's like, it didn't have a plot. I'm like, yeah, it did.
People,
He's shooting people.
yeah, the plot is he shoots people.
Yeah. What do you want?
What's the problem?
I think Keanu Reeves is really good at it. He does a good job. It's very well done.
I like Keanu.
And then I jumped back into Uncharted 4,
Oh,
which I haven't played in like 6 months.
yeah.
And apparently, when I stopped playing it, I was in kind of a difficult position where you're supposed to be like taking these people out discreetly, so you can hide in tall grass, and then you can grab people and pull them off.
Oh,
I couldn't remember how to do any of those moves, so I ended up just shooting
going
everybody.
Rambo.
Yeah, it took a couple times. I probably died 8 times before I finally got
Oh,
past.
that's not too bad.
Then I got into the section where you're solving stuff.
Puzzles.
And you get like a actually grappling hook stuff now.
Oh, interesting.
So it adds a little more challenge.
Man,
There's
I
some
can't
spots
wait to
where
get
you jump down
PlayStation.
onto a place and like you're on like sliding rocks.
Mhm.
So you're sliding down the slope towards something. If you fall off the end, you have to jump off it at the right time
Oh,
or
grapple.
grapple something. It's really well done.
I
like
like
it.
those games.
You should come over and play it sometime.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
For show.
Let's see, where are we at? Oh yeah, I watched another thing on Amazon. Boggy Creek. It's a documentary about the Boggy Creek monster.
Oh, it's like a cryptid.
Yeah. So there's this town. I can't remember what the town is. It's like a 4-letter word. No.
We could say it, but we'd have to bleep it.
Anyways, a town that has had problem, or it's got Boggy Creek in it. It's in Arkansas, I think. But before the movie in the 70s came out called Boggy Creek Monster, there have been reports of things, which got the guy that did this documentary kind of interested in this kind of deal. As it goes through, it talks to all the people that actually experience things with the Boggy Creek Monster.
Yeah.
There's kind of the part of the movie, or what the movie's made on. It's something that actually happened. There's a family in their house. Oh, there he is. It's a 5-letter word, but it's close to a 4-letter word.
Yeah, it's like Fouk or Fauk.
Yeah.
Fouke.
But apparently, one part, the monster, it's kind of like Bigfoot, reaches through a window and like grabs a girl
Uh-huh.
or whatever, and people are shooting at it.
It's a documentary.
Well, there's a documentary that's about the monster, but it talks about the movie.
Okay.
That's from 2017. No, 1972. I had the numbers in there. There's the wrong
Rated
spot.
G
Yeah.
Huh.
I think it's 4.9
on
10
IMDb.
on IMDb. I want to watch it now. It's going to be scary.
Can't be that scary if it's G.
But I didn't realize that all the way up in Arkansas, they still had like swamps and stuff. But it's a very rural area. There's lots of places for, and there's lots of stuff to support life out there.
Right.
There's pumas and jaguars live out there.
What about Puma Man?
Puma Man probably is out there.
Yeah.
Bigfoot's best friend. So that's interesting. You can check that out. I watched Ocean's 11. We'll talk about that. I read another movie called Swordmaster on Netflix. It's not an anime. It's live action.
But
Not
subtitled.
subtitled. Yep.
Okay.
There was a couple English words in there. It's weird when that happens. Like, oh.
Yeah.
It was good. I liked it. It has the typical Asian ending where you die, but you die honorably.
Right.
So, if you don't mind your main character dying at the end, it's really good. It's got good action sequences.
It's kind of
That was
how the
really
story
confusing.
of my life goes too.
There's 2 characters, and one of them had I thought was just face paint on very part of it. And I found out that his rival had died before he got to the fight, so he couldn't. He basically just threw a sword in the lake and just was gonna go, just hang out someplace before to die or whatever. And then it showed this other guy that all of a sudden showed up at this brothel that he was ending up going to be a security for. And I thought it was that guy minus the face paint, but it was not. It was totally another character. And then I realized later, I was like, oh, that makes way more sense. So I was confused. They didn't set it up very well.
Yeah.
I didn't quite get it. Which maybe it's because I was trying to read the movie and
Right.
I wasn't paying enough attention to the character.
Yeah.
But
I
I recommend it. It's good. And then last night I watched. It's been on my recommended for a long time, and it's not very long. It's maybe 45 minutes, but it's called Kung Fury.
I do not think I've seen this.
It is silly, and ridiculous, not for kids, but it starts out with this fight scene out of the city, and all of a sudden this arcade machine comes alive and starts doing kung fu on people, and then Kung Fury's a police officer that gets hit by lightning when he's near a kung fu master, and it makes him Kung Fury, so he's the best kung fu artist in the world.
Okay. So here's the
You
description.
gotta see it though. It's so good.
2015 English language Swedish martial arts action comedy short film.
It's so good. It's like 31 minutes. Check it out. It's so
Wow.
worth it.
And that's on Netflix?
Yes.
I might check it out just because it's so
Oh.
short.
So he's a cop and his partner dies or whatever. So he gets a new partner. His partner is Triceracop. It's a dinosaur.
What? Okay. This is weird.
I almost want to watch it with you.
Triceracop.
It's so good.
That's funny.
Alright. Almost done. Oh, I watched the Canadian version of Cops. It's called Under Arrest.
I cannot
I watched
imagine.
4 episodes. You hear a lot of mispronunciations of O's. A boot. They
Yes.
seem to have a drug problem there. One of the episodes, they showed up at this call. This guy named, I think it was Matt. But they knew Matt because he would occasionally, get high on LSD or something. So he's running around a neighborhood completely naked, like banging on people's doors trying to get them to let him in, and just causing havoc in this neighborhood, running around naked. He's a large dude and not like overweight, but like muscular. So if you wanted to, you probably cause some damage.
Oh, man.
But they're trying to talk him down. And the whole time they've gone like, I think they cuffed him, waiting for the ambulance, trying to restrain him.
Right.
And he's like just yelling at us like, "Help me! Help me!" And then at a certain point, he just starts describing like, "This guy's got a watch. This guy's watch is red and blue." And as they're putting the ambulance, "I've been going in the ambulance. The ambulance number is 1432. Like, Matt, just calm down. Help! They're trying to kill me.
That's so mad.
So, it might be episode 3 or 4. It's pretty funny. I would check it out. It's on Netflix, I think. It's called Under Arrest. There's 5 seasons. I was watching a lot of Minecraft thing the other day. It was just making me laugh. It's hilarious. It's very funny. The next one is The Truth Behind Atlantis.
Ooh.
The truth behind Atlantis is probably that it's not real. There's lots of cities that have, been lost in the water.
Yeah.
The big thing was this roadway that apparently, or supposedly, that's by the Bahamas. That looks like
I've heard that theory.
that. There's geologists like that's just a natural formation.
Well,
they always say nothing like this can be made in nature. It's like actually nature makes stuff like that all the time.
It was Plato or something that first mentioned.
Yeah, it was.
And he knew about this place in the Bahamas.
He said that. He claimed that what he was talking about, Atlantis, was from 1,000 years before him.
Right.
That's a long time. What was 1,000 years before now? Battle of Hastings, 1066. That was a long time ago. Anyway, there's some guys who are really excited and they did the other side of these guys are insane. They're stupid.
Yeah.
At one point, they were really excited because they found this limestone stuff that didn't belong where they found it. You don't find it here. That turned out, instead of being thousands of years old, it was 100 years old, maybe. And when they were building a lot of stuff on the islands of the Bahamas, that's what they were building out of.
Right.
And so they probably had a ship sink that had.
Or somebody's like, oh, we don't need
building
this
materials.
Piece. Oh, just throw it overboard.
So it's funny.
It makes me wonder if in like 1,000 years people will be like, oh yeah, they used to have wizards. Like there was this one named Harry Potter. He was.
Maybe not 1,000 years, but it depends on how our civilization goes. I would suppose.
If it makes it 1,000 years.
Harry Potter, maybe 200 years or something.
But it's kind of clickbait, but for a movie, because it leads you to believe that we found Atlantis. No, no, they did not. They talked about different islands. Some people believe it's this island, but then you go back to what he described, and it was like 20 times bigger than what this island is.
Yeah. It's only partially lost to the ocean.
Right. Well, then they're showing like people believing that this Atlantis had flying cars and there's all kinds of evidence, graphic representation of what people think it was. It was like, and they lost their civilization because their landmass sunk.
Right. So
What?
all their technology, none of it floated.
You live on an island, you don't need boats?
They had only sinky technology.
Oh my goodness. That's some bad technology.
Yeah.
Let me guess, they also taught the Egyptians how to build pyramids.
Oh yeah.
I think Atlantis was made by aliens. Actually, it's an unsuccessful Bigfoot colony. Then I watched Catwoman.
I bet you could bluff your way onto a show like that.
I probably could. I think Paul talked about watching Catwoman.
Yeah. Or I watched it a few months ago.
So I just watched it. It
I
wasn't as
couldn't
bad
find
as I
out.
thought it was. It doesn't seem like it fits in Batman.
You're talking
at all.
about the Halle Berry one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be the Batman Catwoman?
I think so.
It didn't feel like Batman at all.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with her having superpower abilities because she got them through a cat giving her its soul or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Meh. I don't know why I said it like that, but
And then I finally finished my Star Wars book.
oh yeah, that one.
Star Wars Empire's End. So there's a series of books. It's the new canon. It fills in the gap between Return of the Jedi and
Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens. The names for the new ones don't come to my mind automatically yet. And this is the third of those books, so I haven't read the first two.
Oh,
But it fills you enough in on the characters, it's fine.
right.
It talks a lot about Jakku. So you get to find out why there's big, huge Star Destroyers on the surface of
That's cool.
Jakku. For a while, I believed I knew who Snoke was. No. I'm totally back in the dark.
I hope we find out.
It actually gives you a lot more information on some of the characters from Force Awakens. So that's interesting. It's really well written. It threw me off at first because it's written present tense.
Right, yeah.
Which is a little bit weird, but I got used to it. Now, Disney, since it's got a hold of Star Wars, has started to do what Gene Roddenberry was trying to do with Star Trek and advance society by using their properties.
Okay.
Like introducing gay characters or transgender characters like they did in this book.
Okay.
Which I guess is okay. And it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Maybe some alien can be both male and female. I don't know.
Sure.
But it was weird to be reading the pronouns that I hear argument over people trying to get people to force people to use.
Oh, they
in a
use
Star Wars novel.
New Age pronouns.
Yeah, it was just like a chapter towards the end that just kind of stuck in, so I'm not even sure where it fit with the main story.
Oh well.
Anyway, it was good. I recommend it.
Yeah, I might borrow it sometime.
Okay, I can send it to you right now, or after the show, because I'm done with it.
Okay. So it'll probably be a while before I start it.
Okay.
I'm rereading The Dark Tower, and I'm in
Oh.
4.
Well, then let me know. Because
Yeah.
one of my kids might want to read it.
Or maybe I might want to read. Maybe I'll get the first one in that trilogy and read it, and then you can
Maybe that's
borrow
not a
that from
bad
me.
idea. Yeah.
All right, let's go on to nerd cred. I couldn't really think of anything. I don't know.
Master's Ed.
I found a new podcast about the English language.
Yes, you tweeted to us, and you got 2 Enginerds hooked on
It
it.
was on
I
Facebook.
think, yeah,
Whatever.
I think that was pretty nerdy.
You
Yeah.
social media this. Associate. No, you gotta come with the short one.
Cedia. Socia. I don't know.
Socia? I like
It
that.
doesn't roll off the tongue very well.
You associate this. Actually, it doesn't sound like something that would
I
happen.
did say social needs to my son
Social
today.
needs. There you go.
He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm
You social
checking,
media this.
checking the podcast social needs."
Nice.
He's got a new book to teach him Python, and he's been doing the Khan Academy. I think it's
Oh,
Khan Academy to
yeah.
learn how to code. He's getting kind of excited. Oh, I can make a game.
cool.
So
They
that's
teach
kinda
that in high
That's
school
cool.
now. Game design.
Yeah, I'm hoping that by the time he gets into high school, maybe he'll know what he wants to do for a career. And if he still wants to be a game developer, he could actually be good at coding Like I've tried, I've looked at stuff, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense to me. I don't
I'd
even
rather
try.
just play the game.
But at his age, he's fixing to turn 12, and if he can pick it up and get good at it, there's a big market for coders.
See, I've learned, 3 or 4 different programming languages, kind of. And in high school, I actually made an animation using Pascal of a Santa Claus landing on a roof.
I've done nothing. I had to get help with my heat transfer project that involved coding.
Like putting a special coating on material
No, it was
affect the heat transfer?
writing a program to calculate some heat transfer thing.
Was it a thermodynamics issue with material properties?
No.
Well, so I looked up how to make a Minecraft cart automatic return thing, so I could mine, throw stuff in the cart, and have it go put it back in my main thing.
Okay.
So I looked up one on YouTube, and then I was trying to sketch it, and it wasn't working. So I got my AutoCAD out, and I got bored of just making the blocks, and I wanted to look like they actually did. So I actually used material properties and added material properties of Minecraft images to my blocks, so they actually look like Minecraft blocks.
Eventually, you're just going to be able to play Minecraft in AutoCAD.
I know.
If you could get that to work, oh my goodness.
Anyways, it's pretty funny.
That's nerdy.
And I showed the people, and I know it's nerdy when I show the people, they just shake their head.
Like, that's too nerdy for normal nerds.
That's right. And then, so a friend of mine wanted me to draw something for him. He wanted to make an ammo box as a gift to someone getting married, I think. So he showed me one that someone had done on Pinterest or something. And weird, none of their dimensions worked. So we came up with kind of their own design of an ammo box. We're talking like the big wood ones, like from World War II, with the rope handles.
I like things with rope handles.
So this is a really cheap project if you want to make it. But then I kind of went too far. Obviously, I made a title block, and we have this super cube. This is my super cube mate.
Right.
So I came up with the hand signal that we use, signified super cube. And so I made like an image of that for a T-shirt.
Of course.
And I thought, this is kind of like the fraternal order of the super cube. So FOSC.
Yeah.
So I put that picture in the title block. It's like, and it's got some stencils. There's actually a scripture he wants stenciled on the front.
Oh.
Psalms 144:1, I think.
And you shall take up arms and
something about thanking the Lord for making his hands that are good for war or whatever. I don't remember what it was. But, and then an American flag, like burned into the wood on the inside.
Well, that's cool.
So I'm gonna make one, I think.
I was just thinking we could make those, and there's probably a market around here for stuff like that, because there's lots of people I know that are into guns.
It'd be cheap. You could probably build one, especially if you found a place that had little pallets. You could put one together from pallets really easy. I'll have to show you the plans.
I think we should do that.
And then Lego set.
Oh yeah, that
so
is
I've got
speeder.
props. So we went to Walmart as I'm apt to do. Oh, here's the characters up here.
You see them on YouTube.
That's right. And she was looking at getting a fidget spinner toy.
Yeah, my kids have them.
And she bought this one. It's a black one. But then she saw this whole section of them at Walmart that had different colors and shapes. So she wanted to get one, and then she gave this one to me.
My kids used theirs a lot for a few days, and I don't think I've seen them in weeks.
Yeah. And they're bad toys, I don't know.
I'm going to steal their bearings when I make my little windmills.
They're really good bearings. I thought about, we're having an adult Penguin Derby.
Oh, use that in the...
Yeah. So I don't have time to build a car, and the race is tomorrow, so I don't think I'm just going to do that. So she was buying a toy at Walmart, so I thought, I'm going to buy me a toy at Walmart. So I went down to found the Star Wars section, and I didn't want to spend too much. I think this toy was $14.95 for 197 piece.
That's pretty good.
Luke Speeder, which I love Luke Speeder. I actually had a car once.
They're just not in demand since the T16 came out.
The hardest part was the stickers, because especially the small ones, because my fingers are bigger than they were when I was a kid. And trying to get them to line up perfectly was difficult. But I enjoyed it so much, I think I might make a monthly Star Wars toy.
Cool.
It was fun. I forgot how much I love building Lego. It's just starting to have pieces left over. I think they give you some extra pieces of ones that are easily lost. Maybe.
I would have a problem with that.
And I was like, what the hell? Anyway, I had a car once where I was searching online for from people. Somebody made the car I had, which was an '88 Escort wagon, into one of these.
Whoa.
And the way they made it float in the movies was using mirrors. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I mean,
So I think the person that made the car one did that also.
that's cool.
You'll probably find it on the internet if you want to look for it. But there you go. There's my nerd cred.
Awesome. All right, our final segment is feedback. We got a bunch of action on Facebook this week.
Woo, woo.
Mr. Pold's fiance is a new follower of the show on
Excellent.
Facebook, so thanks. Future Mrs. Pold. Matthew from Passersby Podcast, a good friend of the show, says, "Congratulations, Mr. Pold and Mrs. Pold to be." And then last week we were talking about, we didn't name the state, but we were talking about a place that has bad drivers. And Matthew also said that Indiana has terrible drivers. Sincerely, Michigan, because he's from Michigan.
Right.
And then I don't remember us talking about Bristol, but Rob is from the UK, and he said, "I think you'll find people from Bristol are Bristolians." So, okay,
That's good to know.
take your word for it, because you know a lot more about it than me. And we got a shout out on Span the Void. They were listing off like Twitter handles they knew, and ours was one of them. And they also, apparently, Master Zed has been watching them live on Facebook and commenting.
Yeah,
Him.
I've shared I've watched some of their stuff on the Facebook, and so now I get a notification on my phone when they're live.
Oh, I used to watch them on YouNow occasionally when they were on there, but just when they're on and my schedule, it doesn't work out very well with kids. It's usually like supper to bedtime-ish, because they're on the East Coast. So. All right. If you want to contact us, get into our feedback segment. Our email is enginerdyshow@gmail.com, or you can go to facebook.com/enginerdyshow, or find us. We're at Enginerdy on Twitter. You can comment and review wherever you listen, and support the show by telling a friend about the Enginerdy Show. They'll thank you for it.
I've got a new closing.
Excuse me. Thank you for listening this week. Stay nerdy.
No! That's my Vader.
I'm speechless.
Me too.
You said Jar Jar Binks.
Oh no.
That's not true.
I killed them. I killed them all. That feels weird. Yeah, but it always shall did, my friends. I said that wrong.
Yeah, you did.
Goodbye.
Enjoy your taquito. Oh no.